I'm Joan Williams. I'm the host of Coastal Dressage. Today we're going to be working on bending the horse's body around a circle shape. The rider will sit to the inside and place their inside leg on the girth and their supporting outside leg behind the girth. The rider's body will bend the horse around their inside leg as they travel on circles, turns, corners, and movements. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Joan.
Today we're going to work on bending our horses. The first thing we want to do as we work on an exercise like bending is we want to give our horses a proper warm-up. A proper warm-up would include straight lines, curved lines, thinking about the bending that we're going to work on today, transitions, changes of rein, and figure eights. So let's everybody head out now and do a proper warm-up. Left shoulder to left shoulder, maintain your proper spacing. All right, so we're going to start with a basic 20-meter circle, and we're going to make our 20-meter circle between B and E. And the 20-meter circle between B and E, the circle points on the center line are going to be 2 meters on the inside side of the S and the R and the P and the V line. So let's start out tracking to the right. We're going to have Jen go first, Diane second, Melissa third, Debbie fourth, and Richard fifth. Tracking right at the walk. All right, as you go on your circle, we want to go ahead and space ourselves out in open order so that you're nicely spread out around the circle. So let's put our weight a little heavier on our inner sit bone. Inside leg on the girth, good Diane. Outer leg, supporting leg behind the girth. We ask the horse to bend around our inside leg to get concave on the inside rib cage and convex on the outer rib cage. Our outer supporting rein close to the horse's neck either allows their neck longer or we retract it a little bit and straighten the horse. The inside leg bends the horse, the outside leg turns the horse. The inner wrist can flex and give to position the flexion so we can just see the horse's inner eye as we travel around the circle. The outside rein controls the speed and the roundness of the horse's top line. and the shape of the size of the outside side of the circle. Good job, you guys. All right, let's prepare to trot. Transition to trot, rising or sitting. Good. Diane needs to be rounder on that outside rein. Debbie, this is good. Good with your hands, good with your positioning. Richard, a little more energy. Look at Debbie in front of you on the circle, Richard. So you're falling a little behind. You got to catch up to Debbie. That's it. Allow a little more bend this direction with your outside rein. Jen, this is good. Diane, you still got to be rounder on that outside rein. All right, super. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and canter on our circle this direction. So go ahead, sitting trot, and let's prepare to canter, transition to canter. And let's canter on the circle together. Good, keep your position, sit back, shoulders back, eyes up, watch your spacing. Richard, you're going to have to collect. Jen, you're going to have to go more forward. Diane, you're going to have to collect. Super, bending the horse around the circle. Jen, forward. Diane, collect. And let's prepare to trot, transition to trot. Good job, you guys. Get your spacing. And let's prepare to walk, transition to walk. Super job. And let's change rein through the center of our circle. Let's change rein now through the middle of our circle. Make a little right-hand circle about 10 meters. And then head back out on your circle. All right, we'll switch our whip to our new inside hand. Let's spread out on our circle. Richard, look around the circle. Walking, walking, Richard. Walking. Now look around the circle. You probably need to cut across your circle. No, you can walk. You can walk. So just by taking your circle smaller, you can get to your circle point. Turn in smaller, Richard, with your inside rein and your outside leg. So if you stay on the 20, go ahead and walk, Richard. No jigging. Walk. Walk. Now, if you want to go to your circle point without having to chase him, you have to just turn left a little bit. Make your circle a little smaller. Good. Now you can head back out on your circle and see how you could stay walking and find your position with the group. All right, so let's sit a little to the inside. Scoochy scooch to the inside, Richard. Yep. Inside heel deep. Inside leg at the girth. Outside leg behind the girth. Off your left leg a little bit, Debbie. Don't cross your inside hand over. Okay. Half halt. Use your left leg. Push him a little sideways. This is good. Good, Diane. Good, Jen. All right. So we're asking the horse to bend in his rib cage this direction. We want the horse's body to arc exactly around the 20-meter circle with us. And we want an energetic working walk as we ride on our circle. As much as you can energize the walk and still maintain your spacing. All right, great job, you guys. And let's prepare to trot. Transition to trot, rising or sitting. Again, a little more energy, Richard. Good, Debbie. Good, Diane. Diane, you could have a little more energy, but yep, good. But it's round. Good, Jen. Shoulders back, Jen. Richard, you just have to make your circle a little smaller because you're drifting a little wide. Help him turn. That's it, so that you can keep your spacing. Keep turning, Richard, because otherwise you're going to have to run. Turn left a little bit to cut across your circle so that you can keep your spacing. Debbie, you can turn left across your circle a little bit to follow Richard to keep the spacing. Keep going. So look across the circle at your partner. Diane, look at Richard. Debbie, look at Jen. Are you guys across the circle from each other?
Yeah. Yep.
How about Jen and Debbie?
Nope.
Debbie, where you want to turn a little left. Debbie, look at Jen. So I'm going to want you right across the circle from Jen. So make your circle a little smaller, Debbie. All right, and transition to walk. So Debbie, keep walking. You were doing fine. Your trot was fine, but your circle's a little wider than the other horse's circle. So Debbie, if you make your circle smaller than 20 meters, make your circle smaller than 20 meters. Yes. Now look at Jen, your partner, and keep making your circle smaller than 20 meters. Keep looking at Jen. Look at Jen till you're right across from her. You're still making a 20-meter circle. I want you to make smaller than 20 meters. Go on the inside track of a 20-meter circle. That's it. Do you see how just by making that circle smaller, you didn't have to chase him? And really, you only cut off a meter of space. This looks great. All right, let's prepare to trot. Transition to trot rising or sitting. And go. Good. Now check your spacing. It all looks good to me. Good, Debbie. Good, Richard. Good, Jen. Good, Diane. Nice. This looks great. All right, and now we're going to sit the trot and prepare to canter, and we can transition to canter. Good, looking around your circle at your spacing. If you're too close to the horse in front of you, go wide. And we're going to, if you're too far away from the horse in front of you, go a little smaller. Eyes up, shoulders back, heels deep, flex to giving with your inner rein. Inner leg bends the horse around the circle. Outside rein stretches them downward, forward, outward. Super. Spacing, Diane. Go a little wider, Diane. Good job, everyone else. Wider, Diane. All right. And prepare to trot. And transition to trot. Good job. Spacing. Debbie, we didn't say walk yet. Go back to your trot. Go back to your trot, Debbie. Come on. Stay up with the group. Get your spacing back. Go in smaller if you need to. Yes, super. Everybody trotting. Now as a team, as a group, let's prepare to walk and transition to walk. Super job. All right, loose reins, take a little break, and we'll move on in a minute to the next exercise. All right, that was a really good job, you guys. Now we're going to move on to a little bit higher level than just the bending circle. And we're going to do a 3-loop serpentine width of the arena. Now a 3-loop serpentine goes from letter C to your circle point over here between H and S to the circle point 2 meters inside the S and R line, over to letter B, over to your circle point on the inside 2 meters inside of the VP line, on your circle point on the rail between V and K, and it finishes at letter A. And we continue to serpentine again. So it makes 3 equal loops. We're bending to the left on the left-hand loop. We do a moment of straight across the center line, so you'll be broadside to the judge. Bending right, straightening across the center line, and bending left. We want to try to maintain our spacing, our alignment with our group, our synchrony as a pattern. We want the speed to remain the same, with a smooth change of bend while the horse remains on the bit. So let's go ahead with the same order. Jen, then Diane, then Debbie, and then Richard. And we'll start at the walk to make sure we have our pattern correct. All right, so Diane, the spacing between you and Jen, can you close the space up just a little bit? And Debbie, cut the corner a little so that you can stay up with her as she adjusts her spacing. And again, Richard, cut the corner a little bit so that you can adjust your spacing a little closer to Debbie as Diane adjusts her spacing. Yeah. And Diane, you're still kind of falling behind. Can you maybe turn sooner right here? Yeah, that was better. Good. Okay, let's do it again in the walk. The spacing looks good now. Now think about the bend. We're going to want to bend the horses to the inside. We can flex to giving with our inner wrist to see their inner eye. We'll sit a little heavier on the inside sit bone. Diane, your arms need to follow. Jen, this is good. Energy, Diane. Keep your hips quiet. Use your lower leg. Good. It needs to be a little rounder, Diane. Don't let his quarters swing in as you change your bend. Debbie, this is good. Let your hands follow a little more, Debbie. Diane, you have to kind of catch up. More forward than this. Debbie's catching up to you. Try to stay up with Jen. Good. And a moment of straight across the center line. Moment of straight across. Good. For the moment of straight across, you're going to sit equal on both sit bones. And when you change your bend, you're going to get heavier on your inside sit bone. Inside leg bends the horse. Outside supporting rein against the neck. Outside supporting leg behind the girth. This is great. All right, make a 20-meter circle down here at this end. And let's prepare to trot. Transition to trot, rising or sitting. And then we'll start our serpentine at letter C down here. Okay, and trotting, and stay up with your group. Trot simultaneously, you're going to fall behind. So that needed to be a little bit more subtle aid. Now keep your spacing as we ride our serpentine. Think about the connection in your reins, Jen, making the connection equal. Good, Debbie. Catch up to your group. Good. Now go on your serpentine. Now you have your spacing. Now go with your group. Energy, Debbie. Diane, you're catching up too much in the trot. We want the spacing to be right so that we can allow the riders behind you a chance to bend. Good. Little rounder, Debbie. Richard, he's got to be a little rounder. Each time you cross the center line, if you're posting, you want to change your posting diagonal. Debbie, switch your diagonal. Keep going. Post with your, okay, now you're on the left shoulder for this direction. Keep your spacing. And when you come across the center line, switch your posting diagonal. Good, Jen. Good, Diane. Debbie, switch your diagonal. You can. Sit twice. Go for it. Yeah, you did it. Super. Now send him forward. Send him forward. That's it. Super. Use your left leg to push him out on the bigger circle. Bending left. Good. You need a little more pronounced right bend, Diane. He's a counter flex this direction. Bend him right. Last three horses could have a better right bend. Super. One last time through. You need a moment of straight across the center line for Debbie and Richard. A moment of straight across the center line. Straight across. Good, Jen. Straight across. Good, Diane. Now bend right. Straight across, Debbie. Not a diagonal line. Good. Switch your posting diagonal. Make him go out wider. Use your inside leg, Debbie. That's it. Good. And switch your posting diagonal again. Collect a little, Richard. Switch. Yep, super. Make a 20-meter circle. And let's ask the horses to stretch downward, forward, outward. And when you're ready, let's go sitting trot and transition to walk. Good job. So now we're going to do a little bit more difficult exercise in canter. We're going to make 10-meter canter circles in our corners. So the 10-meter circle will be accurate from the corner, a 10-meter circle that touches the circle point on the short end of the arena through the cones, 10 meters around, and just on the inside of M. In each of our corners, and on the long side, you're going to canter down the long side, maintaining your correct left lead canter. All right, let's go ahead, follow Jen, track left. So Diane, for all of you to fit on a 10-meter circle together, you have to have more closed order than this. You have to be like much closer to Jen. So I don't want you to trot. I want you to walk, and I want you to turn your head, and I want you to make the circle smaller. That's it. Now, Richard, you'll have to catch up to Diane's new spacing. Keep your hips quiet. Use your lower leg. All right, good. All right, follow Jen. 20-meter circle now. You can go one more time if you need to, 10-meter circle, and then back out to a 20-meter circle. So now we've got our spacing. And I'm going to wait till everybody's on the 20-meter circle. So you wouldn't go in the corner for your 20-meter circle. Go on the inside of the cone. for a 20-meter circle, all the way out to 2 meters, past the SR line. Good, let's prepare to trot, transition to trot, sitting. And let's prepare to canter, transition to canter, and stand one more time on a 20-meter circle, Jen. Get your spacing, guys. Cantering, Richard. Come on. You're going to have to turn and catch up with your group now. Don't chase him. Turn left. Try to get your canter. All right, now into your corner, 10-meter circle. Go for it. Stay up with your group. Keep your spacing. Inside leg, outside rein, 10-meter circle in your corner. Left leg, right rein. One more jump in the canter, Jen. Keep the jump, Diane. Collect him. Outside leg, outside rein, straight down the long side. Keep the jump in the canter with your hips and legs, Diane. But half halt him and balance him. Richard, this is good. Heels down. Stay up with your group. 10-meter circle in the corner. Bending, Jen, you're going to have to ride a little more forward. Come on. Try to get him a little more in front of your leg. A little more in front of your leg. Keep him cantering, Diane. Richard, turn sooner. Catch up with your group. Good, and another circle, and we'll go straight down the long side. Try to maintain the canter, Diane. Come on. You have to use your hips and legs, plus your half halt aids. Good, Richard. And straight down the long side.